Alright, hello and welcome back. I know it's been a fair little while, but I want to come back at least somewhat strong. So, I decided I'd go over some basic necessities inside a slime rancher, such as where to find certain slimes and what their favorite foods are. I'll go ahead and start us off with the pink slime. The pink slime is the most basic slime you'll find in the game, being locatable in just about each and every area of the game, excluding some event type areas I'll get into later on in the video. Pink slimes will eat just about any food without any preferences for any individual one. So no matter if you feed it a piece of fruit or a phase lemon, he'll always give you exactly one plort unless you have put it into a largo with another favorite food. On to the tabby slime. The tabby slime is the first meat eater you'll locate in the game, located a little past the initial pink slimes, down a left turn followed by another left turn. You'll enter a valley where you'll come across a pogo fruit tree and a hen nest, in which you'll have 3 different slime spawn locations where various slimes, like pink slimes and tabby slimes, pop out. Tabby slimes will only eat meat which consists of various species of hens. There is also a rare variant known as a roosteroo that I'll get slightly into later, depending on the slime I'm covering. For now, let's go ahead and wrap up with the tabby slime. Tabby slimes aren't quite as common as pink slimes. While they do have a vast quantity of spawners across the entire map, they're more sparse than your pink slimes. Therefore, their plorts are priced slightly higher. And their favorite food is the stony hen, which can be located within the dry reefs, located at the very edge before you come across one of the many feral slime territories inside the game. Feral slimes are usually larvas that have not eaten in a long time, but occasionally spawn naturally. Simply feeding them a piece of food will get them off your back, as well as provide you with a couple plorts. Largo slimes are, well, whenever a slime eats a plort unlike itself, it becomes larger and produces both types of plorts whenever it eats a piece of food. Now, if you happen to combine a third type of plort with the initial largo, you will create what's known as a power slime, which is a great branch cleanser, but it's also very hazardous in just normal farming, as they will devour any slimes or hens or you if they get the chance. In order to defeat a Tara slime, you either have to shoot it into the slime sea, which is that ocean-looking area outside of your ranch, or alternatively, if you have water on you, you can splash a couple of times on that. Tar slimes are weaker in the day than at night, and will only take a single shot of water in order to pop during the daytime, but at nighttime you'll have to give them 2. On to the third slime type you'll likely be encountering. Now, this is interchangeable with the tabby slime in terms of encounter rate, and that will be your rock slime. Located if you continue straight onwards past the tabby spawn and past the Gordo located just to the right. Rock slimes are veggie eaters with a special preference for heartbeats. If you are unaware, feeding a slime their favorite food will provide you with double the amount of plorts. Now, heartbeats, I know there's more common than future food types I'll be discussing, but less common than carrots, and I personally have a hard time finding a actual naturally spawning beetroot patch. I end up usually getting my first heartbeat from a crate. For reference, the Gordo slime is a very large slime that is composed of so many slimes that they have become incapable of moving. They will take on average 50 pieces of food in order to pop, with exception to the pink slime, which I believe takes 30. If you feed a Gordo their favorite food, it will take only 25 pieces instead. Anyway, after popping your first Gordo, which could be the Tabby Gordo located just before the feral slime area nearby the first Stony Hen spawn, and one in the cave located just off to your right after the first rock slimes are encountered. These are two feral slime areas that can lead into your two main forks in the road. You will have to explore both, but depending on your preferences for slimes, based off the floor market, you could potentially choose to go to either of these. That's going to be Indigo Quarry and the Moss Blanket. In the Indigo Quarry, you'll end up encountering Rad, Boom, and Crystal Slimes. And in the Moss Blanket, you'll run into Honey, Boom, and Hunter Slimes. Let's go ahead and start with the Boom Slime first, since it's shared across both of those areas. The Boom Slime is a meat eater with preference towards the Briarhen, which does spawn in both the Moss Blanket and the Indigo Quarry, if I'm not mistaken. There's actually a fourth slime you'll likely encounter in either of the two areas, and that is going to be the Puddle Slime. The Puddle Slime is arguably the easiest to take care of in terms of you don't have to actually gather any food, but the hardest to ranch because you can only ever have 4 in a single enclosure. The Puddle Slime will eat water inside of a pond, which can be made at your ranch for, I believe, about $4.50. I'll have to correct myself if I'm wrong there. But once you get Puddle Slimes in, they'll consistently make 4 plorts a day per Puddle Slime. That gives you up to 16 puddle plorts every single day per full enclosure, assuming you have 4 puddle slimes inside of each of those ponds. Now, assuming that you went for the Moss Blanket out of those two, which is the one I personally go with just because I understand the area a bit better, you'll first encounter the Boom Slime, as I mentioned earlier. Then, you have a small chance at any given slime spawn to encounter a Hunter Slime. The Hunter Slime is another meat eater with preference for the Rooster. Roosters being a rare spawn version of the Hen. It's also a requirement if you want to open a coop on your ranch. Next will be your Honey Slime. Honey Slimes are fruit eaters that have a special preference for mint mangoes, a fruit only found in the Moss Blanket. Now, I did actually forget one of the dry reef slimes, and one that also can be found just about any part of the game. That will be the phosphor slime. The phosphor slime is a fruit eater, and the very first one you'll likely encounter, with a special preference for the hueberry. Hueberries can often be found hiding just around the corners of islands and hanging off the side of ledges. You'll be able to tell if you found a hueberry tree because they have a very cube-like look to them. Next, I'll go over the rad slime of the indigo quarry. Rad slimes are vegetable eaters with special preference for the oka oka, which I only learned after actually reading the Slimepedia for it, is a batch of potatoes. The oka oka, not the rad slime. As for the other slime in the indigo quarry, the crystal slime, it only spawns inside of 2 areas. A special cave as well as a Gordo-blocked island. Crystal slimes are again vegetable eaters with a special preference for odd onions. Odd onions are more so like a weed of vegetable plants. As they can't be grown on their own, they must be grown with another type of vegetable. I used to believe that it was possible to grow odd onions out of just any plot, but after recently trying to get it to work, I had to stick with carrots growing with my odd onions. Now, after either the moss blanket or the indigo quarry, you'll likely have come across the door that you opened in order to come across a giant gated door with slime statues scattered about. These slime statues require specific plorts to, based on what slime is presented on them. You will need a rad plort, a tabby plort, honey plort, pink plort, and phosphor plort in order to actually open the gate. After all of the plorts have been inserted, you'll hear a musical tune as the doors open, allowing you access to the ancient ruin. The ancient ruins only has one new slime for us, and that would be the quantum slime. Another fruit eater with special preference for the phase lemon. Phase lemon being a fruit that you can only get if you sacrifice another fruit to one of the multiple phase lemon trees scattered about the ruins. Now, once you grow a phase lemon on your farm, that becomes a tree you're allowed to just pick from forever. Now, your journey isn't quite over yet once you've made it to the ancient ruins, as if you can continue forward past another slime gate, you'll be greeted with a large portal with 5 quantum slime statues pictured around. Once you have inserted each of the 5 quantum slime plorts, each greeted with a musical note, you will be granted access to the Glass Desert, the last area of the game, and home to 4 new slimes for us to look at. I'll go ahead and start with the Dervish slime, a fruit eater with special preference to the prickly pear. Anytime this slime gets agitated, which happens whenever you let a slime build too long without eating, it'll start spawning massive tornadoes that toss around slimes and plorts and other items as they left. Next, we have the Tangle Slime. Tangle slimes are meat eaters with special preference to the painted pens, which have a few specialized spawns located a bit in the center, and then after another slime gate if you get there. Next, we have the Mosaic Slime, a veggie eater with preference for the silver parsnip. Now, something about the silver parsnip and the prickly pear is that the trees that start in the area and the root spots for them to grow out of aren't actually that apparent. There's only about, I want to say, one or two of either of the given plants whenever you load into the last desert for the first time. Now, how you get more of the prickly pears and silver parsnips is actually related to some ancient water. In order to get a hold of ancient water, you will have to first locate 3 slime statues, all of which will usually be of the same slime. After filling each of those 3 slime statues with their respective plorts, you will have access to a fountain located somewhere nearby that'll give you ancient water for 30 seconds. Now, what you do with this ancient water in order to actually gain access to more slime spawns and foods is you have to shoot little red buds scattered across the entire desert. Once you have shot ancient water at one of these flower buds, it'll bloom into an area of effect that'll damage tar slimes as well as give you more life to the area. Next on our slimes list will be the fire slime. The fire slime is kind of like the water slime, as in you don't have to feed it any specific food. What you do have to do is you have to purchase a incinerator with the ash tray added onto it. Fire slimes will regularly eat through this ash in order to create plorts, and on top of that. Now, while that is all the slimes you'll come across wildly on the ranch, with 2 special exceptions I should probably actually go over before I jump into the next section, and I'll actually do that next. First off, we got the Lucky Slime. The Lucky Slime is a sole meat eater with no special preferences. Shooting this slime with a meat type item will provide you with $100 per hen shot into it, disappearing after long, as well as the gold slime, the rarest slime in the game, and has a special preference for the gilded ginger, which has a very limited spawn chance in any given area, and can only ever be found in batches of 1. After those 2 slimes, let's go ahead and dive into some of these special areas, starting with how to actually get to these special areas. Now, you probably noticed the machine straight on ahead of you with the all sign on it. This allows you to take a request for the day, or for the next 24-hour period. Most of these quests provide some beneficial items, such as plorts you may not already have, and money. Now, in order to actually make these give you more than just the rewards listed, you have to purchase these branch expansions around your range. The most beneficial of these branch expansions is probably going to be the lab, as it gives you access to things like Gordo snares, which, if you put the favored slime into a higher tier version of that, you'll have guaranteed Gordo slimes of your choosing. Keep in mind, Gordo slimes will give you 3 random crates that each have their items drop at a chosen pool. In order to actually add something to the lab, you have to complete a request for the student lab coat. I am spacing on his name, so I'll go ahead and put that on screen. After a certain time period has passed in completing a couple of this dude's requests, you are granted access to the Slimulation. The Slimulation is a event area you can access whenever you'd like. It essentially puts you in a smaller map of the world, where your task is to locate bugs. These bugs are either strange objects or odd-looking slimes that, when disturbed properly, turn into glitch slimes. For each glitch slime, you get 1 bug report. Collect enough bug reports and you'll get what are called Manifold Cubes, which are another lab resource. But you also get 3 upgrades related to technology. As for the next area, we'll go for Mochi Miles. I do actually remember this person because I like this little game. Now, for Mochi Miles, you actually have a race type event. Now, her conditions are slightly different from the last. You instead have to purchase a grotto and complete a quest for Mochi Miles. After meeting both of these requirements, if it doesn't work the first time, just keep trying until it does. If you have Hello? You will be granted access to Mochi Miles' Quicksilver race. Quicksilver slimes are the slimes you'll end up running into. They are quick and only eat electricity, which is provided during the race. Now, Mochi Miles races are only able to be activated once every 12 in-game out, 14 in-game out, in which case you will be able to start again. For every 10 Quicksilver plorts you're able to provide, you will get 200 gold and 3 chicken coop related upgrades. Next, you will have this farmer dude. Again, similar situation where instead you want to purchase the wild or the overgrowth. It's the area with the excessive chicken spawns. Anyway, once you have completed his request with that area unlocked, you will be given access to his orchard, in which you'll have a teleporter which will take you into the wild. The wild is home to a one-of-a-kind slime larva, the Saber slime larva. Saber slimes cannot be located outside of Largo Forest, as they had gone extinct. Saber slimes are said to be meat eaters, though their favorite food I am spacing on right now. The goal of the farmer's game is to collect Cocodobas. They spawn randomly, as well as inside of things called mud balls. After collecting a certain amount, you will get what's called a spicy tofu, which essentially acts like a free food item for any category. Most slimes will eat them, period, even if they are meat eaters, and it'll still act filler. Now, with the basics of these slimes covered, I'd also like to slightly delve into how to upgrade your backpack, which is that tiny machine right onto your right after you walk out your house for the first time. That'll give you access to a list of upgrades that adds additional upgrades based on what you have purchased and what you have installed. Now, a couple of the harder to unlock purchases is going to be your treasure craft. Not even I truly understand how that one unlocks. I believe it's tied to the days. But after you have completed that, you will have access to all of your slimes and their favorite food. Keep in mind that Gilded Gingers only have one spawn per day, and only spawn in a batch of one in a hard-to-reach location. And gold slimes, while they prefer Gilded Ginger, they will eat any food. Feeding a Gilded Ginger to a gold slime, though, does guarantee a triple gold floor, which you can in fact get with a special perk later on. If I were to recommend to you a specific upgrade, I'd recommend going for the jetpack, as it is by far the most useful tool I have ever used to avoid dying. Running is extremely useful as well, so getting those running shoes in order to make it take less stamina is a good idea. But that just about covers it for the slimes in Slime. If I said anything confusing, please feel free to write it down in the comments, and I'll try to address it. Also, don't forget, you can feel free to leave comments on the video if you just feel like telling me what you think of the video, or what I should play next. I'm going to be trying to get back into this now, but I am still quite a busy person now, so I cannot guarantee stable uploads. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, and if you're enjoying the content, you can always subscribe. I guarantee that eventually upload.